Hey, what's up? It's Restricted Arts. Today I'm doing a tutorial on that 2D kind of style I showed in my last video. Got a good amount of requests to do a tutorial on it, so yeah. But first, the most important thing about this style is pretty much a brush pack that I downloaded, or a pack that I downloaded from Apex Pred. Go to this video, it's a free graphics pack. Download it. It's a really good pack. Um, Pretty much the main thing in it that I'll be using this tutorial is these brushes. So each one of these packs of brushes has different types of brushes in it, and then you just use, that's the main part of this background. So lots of those little intricate designs, like I didn't, like it's all brushes. So to start out, I'm gonna do just a single color. I'm gonna add color to this, so I'm just gonna do a single color. I'll probably just do the word arts. It doesn't show up because color is the same as the. I'm probably just gonna do blue again. So to start out, you just make your text. I use a font called Reboard. Is that how you pronounce it? Yeah. I find the big blocky fonts. They don't have to be blocky, but or they're not kind of blocky, but they don't have to be sharp or smooth the edges. But they just need to be big and have a fair amount of space to them and be a fairly big presence on the page. And the blending options I had. This is all Photoshop, by the way. There's no Cinema 4D in this style. Keep the size fairly low. Then bevel and emboss. I toss the softness all the way up so you can barely see it. And maybe cut the depth a little bit, and then a gradient overlay. And then, yeah, just give it just a bit of a shine on the top and a little bit of darkness on the bottom. And now that I've got this centered, I don't really need my margins anymore because this is a flowing design, so it doesn't matter where it gets cut off really. Although I really could pay attention to it and design it to that a bit, but I don't really have the time. And this blending option, this gradient overlay is a little too much. That's a little better. It's probably just I'm noticing more because that text is bigger than I usually use. So now rasterize layer type, not layer style, because you're going to be deleting stuff from the oh, this brush is actually, I don't know what it. Oh, the brushes work for the eraser too, by the way. At least they should. Yeah, they definitely do. Sorry about that noise. So you want to rasterize layer type, or yeah, type, because then you can cut parts out of this, but it still keeps the blending options. So like, if I cut something, I'll just do an example. Rasterize layer style, I cut out a part of that, then it just cuts it clean out, like it doesn't reapply the blending options to that edge. If I don't rasterize layer type, then I obviously can't cut anything out of it. But trying to cut something out of trying to cut something out of layer type automatically rasterizes it. So yeah. So you just pick some sort of style, delete it, and then you see it adds that bevel and that drop shadow to it. And then Jesus, dude. And then I'll just I'll do this kind of thing, and I did already. What else? Could do something with the A. I'm gonna try to keep this in a kind of organic looking one, but you can do more high-tech stuff. I'll explain that a little later. I don't know if I'm gonna do the process of this whole banner, just because it's gonna take a while. You may not have all these brushes because I'm pretty sure I downloaded a pack that had brushes in it. That isn't that pack, but so you do something like that. Just something to play around with. Yeah, obviously get a little more in depth with it if you're doing this for real. Next, I like to find these clouds. You should get most of all these brushes in this pack. And then so each type of cloud, click it, put it a few places on the page, but then switch up to a different kind because you don't want to keep using the same cloud, and then cut the opacity like something like 40, 30, something like that. In terms of adding a vignette, I like to do that fairly early for this style. Either you can add a vignette just like this and then just drop the opacity, or something I tried in the last few of these I did, I'm not sure if I was in love with it, is going black one side and light on the other. Except you have to stretch it pretty far because the banner design is so linear, and I'm not really in love with it. And then, so I'm probably just gonna do it like this for this banner. Yeah. So pretty much then, everything on a new layer, you can name your layers if you want. I usually get sloppy and don't name them. But it's good to name your layers. It's a good habit to get into. You can decide if you want the background to be, so you want it just to be, you want to have the background be, you want the background to be all, you want the background to be black and white, but you want the text to stand out and be color still. So you can do the background all black and white, but you can leave the text color. For this, I'm probably going to do the text color. So, yeah. Sorry, I'm not sure if I use this in one of my speed arts yet, but I'm going to use this grass. So I made a new layer. Try to do as much of this on new layers as you can. So I'm going to use this grass brush. Although actually, hold on. I actually found it looks a little better if you use this single one that only goes one direction. And just kind of all like move your wave your brush a bit, and then copy this layer. Control T, flip horizontal, and I feel like that looks a little more realistic than the other one. But it's up to you. Yeah, so do something like that. It doesn't show up super well, but I'll play around with the contrast and stuff in a bit. And then yeah, combine these two layers. Hold Shift, hit Control E. Yeah, so since I'm going for an organic look, oh, another quick thing, I like to add some splotches to get a darker brush, new layer of the text, create clipping mask. I like to add some stuff like this to it, and then usually put on overlay. So if you're doing like a brighter color of text, it might not show up, so you might have to do it on normal and then cut the opacity down a lot. I just something to give the text a little color. Probably gonna do some, was it streamers is what the pack called them? Yeah. Probably gonna do these in blue. I'm gonna put these behind the grass, but in front of the clouds. I'll name this grass. You don't have to name every layer, but the main ones that you want stuff to be in front of and behind, you should name just so like you can find them quickly when you're orienting your layers. So it kind of looks like it's coming up from the grass a bit, which I don't know what it's supposed to be, but you know, it's kind of a cool look. I usually like to have most of my stuff going one direction. There may be a way to rotate brushes, I'm not sure. Is it? I haven't really looked around. I have no idea. I'm gonna click off of that. But say if you want to rotate something, just make a layer, not Control J, Control T, flip vertical, and then you can have it up top. Usually I try to have most of the stuff flowing the same way. Although actually I might try having it flowing towards the arts. No, I'm gonna have it flowing the same way, I think, in this one. Yeah, so, you know, just keep adding stuff, make stuff go on, have stuff come underneath the text. I don't have a ton of stuff overlap it just because I think it kind of messes up the bevel kind of look. I'll show you something I do though with some of these like graffiti splatters. I kind of have it. Sorry. Jesus, dude. You just have it look like it's dripping off the text. And you kind of pair them together, but do different sizes, you know, stuff like that. You know, if you've done the same one, grab a different one. Just another kind of little thing. This is pretty much, style's all about playing around with the brushes and just trying new different kind of things that you think might look cool. You know, put stuff in there. One, you don't really want to see that bulge. Yeah, you know, different kinds of stuff. I might try giving this like a bit of an overhead light. See how this works. Overlay? Is that gonna look right? Nah, it doesn't quite look. I'll play around with it. Yeah, pretty much all this style is just playing around with brushes, getting stuff to look nice. Try to keep it all organic is what I was talking about. Yeah, that's what I was talking about before. Try to keep it all organic or tech, like it doesn't quite make sense, you know. If I'm doing this kind of grass, kind of flowy looking, I put like gears in it, you know what I mean? Some of the better brushes, I think. I really gotta stop getting rid of my colors. Streamer ones are good. These are kind of cool, but these are more sharp, kind of more for a tech look. I like these arrows. I think these look nice. I mean, these kind of, I don't even know what you call half this stuff. They're pretty much just not a huge, pretty much just think about where you want to put stuff, how you want stuff to end up looking. Kind of come up with the theme and then just use the brushes to play around with it. It does take a little practice to get good at placing stuff that makes sense, but since it's a fairly abstract kind of look, you don't need to be super accurate with where you place stuff. You see, I'm placing stuff pretty randomly right now, and this isn't a super good example of, if I was actually doing this for someone, I would probably try to do this a little more accurate. This maple leaf brush kind of gets me sometimes. You have to make it so small. Oh, there you go. And then, yeah, just do stuff kind of. I think that's the default Photoshop brush. Yeah, but like I said, try to keep stuff on different layers. So like for this, I can drop the opacity if I want. Make it a little lighter. Yeah, if you want to add, like, I know there's some spiral kind of. If you want to go for more of a like scary kind of horror look, if like a darker shape, you do. That's not really horror or scary. Like, if you want to do like more cracked kind of more earthy stuff. Obviously, blue isn't the best color for that, but you could do stuff like that. There's all kinds of different brushes. I'm not sure these ones down here are in the pack, but there's lots of really good organic kind of stuff. That's really good for kind of blending two colors, and I think I used that for the Solar Studios entry. You know, I haven't even tried many of these, but yeah, there's just a ton of stuff you can do with different brushes. Even if you don't like this style, I recommend at least downloading these brush packs, because there's tons of little things you can use it for. I mean, I find myself, I haven't even been using them that long, and I still find myself using them quite a lot, you know, just for like just a little bit of a less sharp look to certain things, if you know what I mean by that. I don't know what this is supposed to be. It's supposed to be like a bush or something. Yeah, just give this stuff a little more of a free-flowing look. So this has been the great tutorial. I'm kind of tired after school today. Glad it's Friday though. Been a long week of school. It's probably one of the longest weeks I've ever had in school, really, to be honest. Wow, these brushes going fucking left. branches. Brush branches, whatever. Yes, you know, do whatever you want. Have fun with it. You can always, these banners don't take too long to do also, once you get used to doing this style. You know, put stuff in the text. You know, maybe try overlapping stuff in the text. I haven't honestly tried it. I don't know how it would look. You know, maybe you can make it look like vines are growing on the... Oh, I have tried it before, that's right. But I don't remember if I liked it or not. You know, you could do something like... Yeah, I mean, it looks alright. The only part is this part right here. So I'd make it... Because it looks weird where it starts, so you'd make it overlap, and then maybe you would cut off this bit so it looks like it's wrapping around. Yeah, I'll touch it up a little better, but yeah, pretty much that's the gist of this style. Just play around with it, you know, do what you want. It's just, I think it's a fun style to kind of play around with. It's good to get familiar with different types of brushes. You know, they're useful tools. I don't think there's anything else I need to say. I think that's pretty much it. If you like this tutorial, let me know. Might upload might upload this on my channel, might not. I don't know. I kind of want to keep the other one I had because it has the logo. The logo I made for myself. Sorry, I'm out of it right now. I'm pretty tired. Yeah. Let me know what you thought of the tutorial. Let me know if you have any questions, other tutorials you want to see. Let me know if you like this style. There's something else I was gonna fucking say. What was it? Something about subs. Oh yeah, 250 sub ideas. Yeah, leave them in the comments below. Q&A questions, stuff like that. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Sorry this wasn't a great tutorial, but hopefully you learned something. Yeah, thanks, and I'll talk to you guys later.